So let's see. I will need you to answer in the chat, right? So we'll go over question 1 here, and we can still have the periodic table that shows the blocks. So identify the element that fits each description. An alkaline earth element in period 3. So find the alkaline earth elements in period 3. So it would be good to have the periodic table out. I could also show it. So do you need me to have it on the screen? Can you tell me if yes or no? Okay, so you need to have a periodic table that you can watch. I can also have it on the screen. So an alkaline earth element, you need to learn where are the alkaline earth elements. And alkaline earths are group 2A. So I use, let me show the, sorry, periodic table here. Okay, that's a periodic table here. You need to look at the, so the group numbers I use are those 1A, 2A, 3B, 4B, 5B, etc. And then to the right, 3A, 4A, up to 8A. I use those group numbers to talk about columns, right? Groups are columns. And so alkali earth metal are in group 2A. And it's asking you the alkali metal in group 2A, period 3. So can you answer in the chat what you think is the answer there? And I'll go back to the document. So answer in the chat, what is the alkali metal in group 3A? 2A, sorry. Period 3, group 2A. So look at the period. No, neither of these two, not beryllium, not calcium. So periods are the name that we give to row. So period 3 means row 3. And so yes, it's magnesium. Magnesium is the element. You know what, I will need to share my screen so that we see both the periodic table and, oh, what is that? So magnesium is in period 3 and is an alkaline earth metal. Yep. Okay, so that was magnesium. So a noble gas in period 6. A noble gas in period 6. Oh, sorry, I hide the, so noble gas in period 6. Yes. So noble gases are those elements in group 8A, right? Group 8A is the last column to the right. Helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, and radon are all noble gases. And so period 6 means row 6, and there it's radon. Rn, or radon. So now let's look for a main group element in period 3 that has p orbitals half filled with electrons. So a main group element. So main group elements are those A groups, right? It's all the A, capital A groups are main group elements in period 3, and that has p orbitals half filled with electrons. So look at the third period, third row, main group element. So it has to have the p orbitals filled. So that means it has to be in the p block. So if you look at the p block here, it's on the right. So it cannot be a main group from group 1A or 2A because these are in the S block. So you want an element from the group 3A to 8A. And so the P block has 6 colons. And the reason why there are 6 colons is because you can put 6 electrons in the P orbitals. So each, as you go from one element to the next, you add an electron. Oh, okay. Oops. So P block has 6 colons for 6 electrons that you can put in the p orbitals. Because p orbitals, there are 3 of them, and you can put 2 electrons in each. So that's why there is a maximum of 6 electrons in the p orbitals. And so you need to count until you have 3, right? Because half of 6 is 3. So you need to count 1, 2, 3 until you reach the third element in that third row. So third row here is, yeah, this one, where you have sodium, magnesium, go all the way to aluminum. That's 1 electron in a p orbital, silicon, 2 electrons, and phosphorus is when you have 3 electrons in the p orbitals. So that would be phosphorus. Now, transition element in period 4, group 1b. So I also gave the group number in the other way that they are named. Group 1b is also group 11. So a transition metal. So transition metals, as it says here, are in the B groups. It's all those B groups are called transition metals, and it's also called the D block. So it has to be in the D block period 4. So period 4, D block, and group 1b. So from period 4 here, you go all the way to 1b or colon 11, and that's Cu. Yes. Cu. Oops. An inner transition metal with its 5f orbitals completely filled with electrons. So as it says here, inner transition metals are those 2 rows at the bottom of the periodic table. They are called inner transition metals. And so it's also the F block. The F block, so if you count, there is 14 colons there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 colons because there is 7 F orbitals, and each orbital can have 2 electrons. So 2 times 7, it's 14 electrons that you can put in the F orbitals. And so every time you take a step into those this part of the periodic table, you add an electron in the F orbitals. And so a completely filled F orbital, 5F orbital, will mean you look at the bottom row of the inner transition metals and all the way to the end, to the right. And that would be, no, it's not lutetium, because lutetium would be orbitals 4f. So it's a Lawrencium, LR. Lawrencium here is the one that has its 5 f orbitals filled, and it's in inner transition metal, because lutetium would be a 4f. A transition metal in period 6, group 6b. So transition metal in period 6, group 6b. Transition metals means you will look at the D block, or what we call the B groups, period 6, so 6th row here, period 6, group 6b. Period 6, group 6b, and that's, yeah, tungsten with a symbol W. Okay, so this first problem was really to help you remember the names that you need to remember, like alkaline earth elements are group 2A. Alkali metal are group 1A. Noble gases are group 8A. The transition metals are all the B groups in the middle here. The main group elements are all the A groups, so 1A, 2A, and then 3A to 8A are all main group elements. And then the inner transition metals are those 2 rows at the bottom of the periodic table. And then you need also to remember that periods represent row and groups are the columns. So we say groups and periods, we don't say column and row. Okay, so, and it also was reminding you of those, you know, S block, D block, P block, and F block that show where the electrons are filling the orbitals, which orbitals they are filling, depending on the position in the periodic table. So looks like not enough people have gone far enough in chapter 2. So we'll do this second problem here, and then it's better to keep for tomorrow maybe. So problem 2, give all the terms that apply to each element. So you can classify them as metals, non-metals, metalloid, alkali metal, alkaline earth elements or metals, because they are metals too, halogen, noble gases, main group element, transition metal, or inner transition metals. So it's going to help you review what we just saw. So now let's look at bromine. So can you locate bromine in the periodic table and tell me, so periodic table, bromine atomic number 35. So tell me what it is. Is it metal, non-metal, or metalloid? And does it have a specific name? So this classification between metals and non-metals uses the staircase here, the zigzag line that goes from boron to astatine. That line shows you the border between metals that are on the left side and non-metals that are on the right side. So bromine here is in the right side of the staircase line. So it's going to be a non-metal. Metalloids are the ones that are touching the line, like boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony, tellurium, polonium, astatine. Aluminum and, oh, sorry, polonium are not metalloids. So bromine is a non-metal. What else? So if it's a non-metal, it cannot be a metal or a metalloid. So move on. Is it an alkali metal? Obviously no, because it's a non-metal. Can it be an alkaline earth element? No, because those two are group 1A and 2A. Halogen, is it an halogen? Yes, it's an halogen. Those elements in group 7A are called halogens. They are fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, astatine. So they are called halogens as a group, and it's a name you want to remember. So yes, halogen. Can it be a noble gas? No, right? Noble gases are group 8A, so it cannot be a noble gas and an halogen. It's not possible. So it's not a noble gas. Now, is it a main group element? Main group element? Yes, it's a main group element. Because it's in the A group. Remember, the main group elements are those in the A groups, 1A, 2A, and 3A to 8A. So transition metal, no, because those transition metals are those B groups, so it's not a B group. And inner transition metal, no, because these are the two rows at the bottom here, the two periods that are taken out of the periodic table. So that's it for bromine. It can be, it is all of that at the same time. Silicon, symbol. So find silicon in the periodic table and tell me what it is. So first, is it a metal, non-metal, or metalloid? Yes, silicon, well, no. So the zigzag line delimits metals from non-metals. Silicon is on the right side, but it's not a non-metal. It's touching the line. And that's actually a typical example of a metalloid. So there's not that many metalloids. The metalloids are boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony, tellurium, and astatine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them only. Polonium and aluminum are not metalloids. So silicon is a metalloid. So it cannot be a metal and a non-metal because it's a metalloid. Alkali metal would not make sense. It's not a metal. Alkaline earth elements, again, alkali metals are group 1A. Alkali earth elements are group 2A. So it's not these. Halogens are group 7A. It's not there. Noble gases are group 8A. It's not there. So then the question is it a main group element? Well, look, so remember, main group elements are elements in the A group. So yes, it's a main group element because it's in group 4A. It's a main group element. And transition metal, no, because these are the B groups. And inner transition metals, no, because these are the lanthanide and actinide on the bottom here. So that's it for silicon. Cesium. Cesium. Find cesium in the periodic table. Cesium, here on the left. Do you see it? So cesium, atomic number 55. So is it a metal, non-metal, or metalloid? Yes, that's a metal. It's a metal. It's on the right on the left side of the periodic table there. So then, is it can we give it a name, like from alkali metal, alkaline earth, halogen, noble gas? Can we give it a name like that? It's an alkali metal, right? The alkali metals are in group 1A and cesium is in group 1A. Yeah, alkali. Alkaline is for the alkaline earth metals, but alkali are for the 1A group, right? Alkali are, you know, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. Hydrogen is a non-metal, it's an exception. It's not an alkali metal, even though it's in group 1A. Next, so then it cannot be an halogen, noble gas, or alkaline earth. Is it a main group element? Yes, because it's in A group. 1A are main group elements. And what else? Transition metal, no. And inner transition metal, no. Because it's not in there. Okay, gold. So gold has a symbol that is not intuitive. Doesn't have any G or O in there. So gold atomic number 79. So is it a metal, a non-metal, or metalloid? So gold atomic number 79 is the symbol AU. AU comes from the Latin root of the name. So it's on the left side of the periodic table, so that's a metal. Yes. So then cannot be a non-metal or metalloid. Is it an alkali metal or an alkaline earth metal? No, yes, it's a transition metal. It's it's in the middle here, well, not to the right a little bit. Gold, it's in a B group, right? 1B. So then it's a transition metal. And is it a main group element? No, it cannot be a main group element because main group elements are A groups and that's in a B group. Transition metals are not main group elements. Okay, let's do calcium. Calcium, atomic number 20, found on the left side of the periodic table. So that's a metal. Did you see calcium? Atomic number 20, fourth period, to the left side of the periodic table, so that's a metal. The question is now, does it have a particular name? Like, can it be a noble gas, halogen, alkaline earth metal, or alkali metal? Yes, that's an alkaline earth metal. Oops, group 2A are alkaline earth metals. Alkaline earth metals. These are the group 2A. And so then it cannot be a transition metal either, or inner transition metal. Is it a main group element? Yes, right, main group element. It's in a group, so it's a main group element. I guess I can write that A group. Transition metals are in the B groups. Okay, do a chromium. Chromium atomic number 24, symbol CR. So chromium is on the left side of the periodic table, and that's a metal. So what is it? Does it have a particular name like alkaline metal, alkaline earth metal, transition metal, or inner transition metal? Yes, it's a transition metal because it's in those B groups. Transition metal. It's in the B groups or D block. Is there something else we can tell? Is it a main group element? No, because it's a B group, so it cannot be a main group element. So I think that's